Hello, my people. Today's tale comes from the Hall of Tales. I apologize for the excessive use of tales in that sentence. Like many of you, when I was a teenager, I had a group of friends that I hung out with all the time. We did lots of things together, we had tons of fun, but we really never got into any real mischief. This was primarily because two of my friends were the sons of the pastor. My mother would have slain me with a boulder had I stepped out of line, and my other buddy's parents kept a fairly tight rein as well. Don't get me wrong though, we were still ballers. Oh yeah, a lot of times we would get like pillows and blankets and sleep out in my buddy's living room. And then his mom would come out and be like, guys, it's 10:30 and you need to go to sleep. But we would totally stay up like way past midnight. I had a little bit of a bad boy streak in me. So one night, we are deciding on a course of action and we decide to embark on an epic game of Monopoly. Like I said, we kept it lit and things. I think, is that how you use that? I'm sorry. But just as we were getting ready to sit down and play this awesome game, one of my buddies goes, hey, why don't we make this interesting and play for stakes? As it turned out, it was very whatever that word is. It wasn't interesting at all. I know what you're thinking. They played for money. That would have been impossible given the fact that I was the only one with the ability to increase my currency level from labor. Speaking of which, do you remember when you were in high school and you had like a part-time summer job working like 30 hours a week or whatever? You were making minimum wage, which back in 1999 was a whopping $5.25 per hour. Ugh. Then, after a couple weeks, you go to pick up your check and you're like, oh man, I got all this money coming. And then you look at it and you're like, wait, who took all my money? And then there's some guy sitting in the corner like, welcome to the real world. Shut up. Give me my money. I'm not excited to be here. And I know what you're thinking, because I was thinking it too. Why, oh why didn't I take the blue pill? Playing for money was off the table. Instead, they crafted a game in which winner would take all, meaning you got to watch while everyone endured misery. The stakes were crafted to motivate you to win at all costs. Each and every one contained elements that were quite unpleasant. I will take this opportunity right now to say I condone zero of these things. Don't do them, they're stupid, but it's still a story. There were 3 options available. If you were not the winner of the game, you had to choose and complete one of the tasks. 1. Snake crawl through his backyard, which happened to be full of thorns and thistles and rocks. In case you are unfamiliar with the term snake crawl, or perhaps it's known to you by another name, it's where you take off your shirt, lay down in the grass, and then you slither like a snake with your arms behind your back. I feel like that was far more self-explanatory than I originally thought. No one wanted to choose this option. One of the guys tried it in the front yard, which had like normal real grass one time. When he got up, he had streaks of blood all down his chest. You think paper cuts are bad? You should try grass cuts. There is a reason they're called blades. I think I've made my point. 2. Eat a bowl of dog food like a bowl of cereal with milk. Have you ever smelled kibble? It has its own smell, but let me just tell you that the taste of it is like rancid meat went to the sock hop and chatted up gasoline. Together they formed an unholy union that resulted in kibble. It is so disgusting. And when you mix in the milk, it forms a creamy, oily, awfulness concoction. A witch's brew of evil is what it forms. We're done talking about that because I'm gagging just reliving the memory. A simple task: run as fast as you can down their street, turn right, go to the end of that street, make another right. Halfway down that street, you turn left and you go to the park. Then you run all the way back in nothing but your tennis shoes. The stakes were high. We embark on our game at 8 p.m. and finish up around 1 in the morning. My friend Ryan, emerged victorious. A couple immediately said they're gonna run naked. My one buddy says, I'm gonna try the dog food. The rule was you had to keep it down. You couldn't throw it up, otherwise it didn't count. Touches his tongue and he goes, oh, Nope, not doing it. I'm running naked. My other buddy is revered to this day because in all our times, and for some reason there was more than one, of us playing stakes, he is the only one who ever kept down the dog food. He looked real bad, like in a real bad way. One of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. Because he'd take a bite and he looked like a baby bird who hadn't eaten in 3 days. He'd be like, and then he'd swallow it. But somehow he kept it down. Wizardry! Next, it was my turn. I'm not really sure how everyone else's gag reflex works. If something touches the front of my tongue, I'm pretty okay. But it's once it like goes to the back and kind of rolls down the wave and it's like right back there. If there's something that triggers my gag reflex, like flavor or texture or a Tuesday, we are 7 seconds away from my body turning my small intestine into a missile. I take a bite of this concoction of evil, only to immediately realize that I have started a game that I will not be able to finish. I expel everything from my body since I was 6 years old in a glorious fashion of vomit and sadness. We all go out front, we strip down, and we begin our run. Don't look at me like that. It's not like we had YouTube back then. We start out running in a line. No one really wanting the view of things to behold. Nah, not interested. However, some of us were in better shape than the others. One of my buddies was a state cross-country runner. His pace felt like lightning next to mine. And pretty quickly, our view began to deteriorate. I'd like to say that prior to this moment in time, I wasn't really fully convinced for the necessity of underwear. But when you're running, things are moving about in the way they would with the running and the jostling. That's not a pleasurable experience at all. Whoever invented underwear, good on ya. I am a big fan. We all arrive at the park at about the same time. They get there, they turn around, and they start booking it back for the house. When I get to the park, I stop and have a conversation with myself. It's dark, it's 2 a.m., no one's out here. Why are we running? Don't get me wrong, I run when it's appropriate, like from bears or a swarm of bees. Important things. Middle of the night? It was summer, it was nice out. So I just began a leisurely stroll back to the house. I have never been accused of being a real fast individual. What my mom refers to as dawdling, I call living. Carpe the heck out of diem. My buddies get back to the house, put on their clothes, and realize, uh-oh, Matt's not here. They thought I got picked up by the cops. I say again, don't do this. Back then, had I been picked up by the cops, they would have smacked me upside the head, told me to quit being an idiot, and put some pants on. Nowadays, you get picked up for this, they take you downtown, you have to donate a kidney, and they put you on a registry of sorts. And not a fun one where you get gifts. My buddies all come running around the corner, and they see me out for a midnight stroll. Whoa, bro, okay, what are you doing? Just thought I'd enjoy the night air. Okay, alright, we're gonna go back. And I just walked on home. Some of us are remembered for being able to choke down a bowl of dog food. Some of us are remembered for a midnight stroll.